So we're in Paris again.
Bonjour.
Did you think we were going to still be in Paris? Bonjour. Okay.
I guess so. I thought really she was going to leave, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I didn't really think that. Hold on, let me take this down.
No, I actually really believed she was going to go home for a second. I mean, I knew, like, no way. Can't be over yet.
Yeah. I just didn't think we were going to be, like, ending, like, the last episode to be in Paris. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of here for it. I mean, clearly we're here for it.
Yeah, oui.
Yes.
We are officially in uncharted territory as well.
Completely, like, genuinely, because the letters are kind of over now at this point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're not. There is a potential we'll talk about.
Yeah, right.
I could cry with you guys. Like, if we all hold hands and just cry for a second, like, that we only have one episode left. Or do we? We'll get into that conspiracy theory as well.
True.
But episode 10 just happened last Wednesday.
I love that episode. I think that's a top tier episode for me. It's a top contender.
Mm-hmm. I was actually looking at the IMDb, like, ratings yesterday. Ooh. And so, obviously, what do we think episode number, like, the top rated episode is?
Oh, Peach Scene, of course.
Yes, of course. Episode 5, Conrad's point of view. This one did have good ratings.
Really?
Last episode did not. Episode 9, I think it had, like, I don't even remember, like, 4 or 5 out of 10.
Yeah, which that makes sense. I feel like people seem to like this episode.
Yeah.
At least in our comments, you guys liked it more so.
Mm-hmm. That's how we try to gauge it. Belly gallivanting through Paris. Love that.
I know, especially seeing Paris in fall time, like intro to fall. Mm-hmm. It's nice.
I agree. And watching Belly kind of like intertwine with other people or just like interact with other people, I guess. Also Benito, like I was kind of here for it. I kind of love to see Belly get some from
like
some without the last name Fisher. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Something new.
Anyway, so here's our episode 10 debrief where we're going to go through all the scenes, which is a little bit different than our normal ones because, again, we don't have many book scenes to go off of here.
Yeah, or to compare, contrast.
But there are a lot of Easter egg conversation going on.
Yes.
With this episode especially.
Yeah, there is.
Also, we have a Patreon for our unedited full-length reactions and some extra uploads. And we do exclusive content on YouTube memberships. And if you don't want any of that, feel free to subscribe down below. Don't miss out because we have fun content coming up.
Belly is in Paris. She leaves a voicemail to Laurel on Thanksgiving. She makes it clear it's Thanksgiving. Yeah. And that she wishes she could be with them, but has a lot going on. Right. And she's cooking stuffing for her roommates.
Which now we know that I feel like even from that point, like we didn't know this yet, but I also think she just doesn't want to come home because she's not ready in general.
Yeah, which that makes a lot more sense. And I was thinking about it too, of like, it would be really hard I would think if I were Belly to like go home, see everyone and be like, I guess I do have to go back. Right.
Like even for a brief moment, like you want to still feel fully like a little bit more, especially like if that's why you want is to grow. You want to feel a little bit more growth maybe before then.
Yeah.
Valid. Sense. Pulling apart her baguette for stuffing. Baguette stuffing, hence our outfits. Hello. Okay. And just saying. And I just in general liked the scene where she was kind of like making the stuffing and everybody was kind of just like, ugh.
Yeah, not into it because
I feel very like realistic on how people view not only like obviously like Thanksgiving, but American food in general.
Right? Yeah, they're like
and traditions,
rather not
things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I loved it too with the chaotic, random roommates. I feel like we got the picture of
that. She is kind of living in chaos, which I do think like maybe that's a good thing. Kind of distracting. Like again, she's clearly meeting more people there. Doing that through that.
And it's also funny her other roommate steals the rest of the coffee that she was about to pour, which you'll see later that she like lies to Taylor that she had coffee with her roommates earlier. Oh, and they definitely did not.
No, definitely.
But
I actually love that. And then it kind of goes into, does it go in directly from that to her thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. I think we see like a montage of her working and stuff. When I had the idea of studying abroad in Paris all those months ago, the part that secretly thrilled and terrified me was that I'd be doing something truly on my own for the first time in my life. Yeah. And it was a chance to test myself, find out what I was really made of.
Again, I feel like this is the dialogue that we've been like guessing and we've been like, again, you could pick up that's where her head is at, even like in the last episode where she left. You know what I mean? Yeah. But to hear her say it, and again, to like be very like upfront and earnest about kind of like where she is.
Also reminds me of, because she says something about being so lonely and so homesick.
Yeah, she tells her friends that too.
Yeah, and which is kind of what, remember that conversation Conrad and her had in the peach scene episode?
Yeah.
Episode 5. They talk about how him going to California was weird for the first time because he was so alone and lonely, and it was like just a part of it, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was interesting too that she like is really giving a lot of insight on her like job situation here, how she's working like a few jobs. She works and I work at the same time, and since working in Paris means working under the table, it's one shitty job, it's two, or it's not one shitty job, it's two. The homesickness I've learned to just accept. It's like a dull ache that never goes away, which is such a Belly way to describe something. In general, also like we see time jumps this episode. Like we see actually like more than one time jump.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I feel like the last one too was very subtle.
Yeah.
Into spring or summer or whatever.
Yes, because it's like, okay, you start it and you can tell she's been there for however long, for 3 months. 3 months in, and it turns out. Okay. Right. So that's where we are right now. That makes sense why she wouldn't feel like such a big change. It's like, it's a long time, but it's not really.
Right. That's what I was saying. Even a year, I'm like, how much growth can one change in a year? Like, that makes sense to me that she wouldn't want to go home yet. Even after, or whatever, 7 months or whatever.
Yeah, like if that's her goal, especially. For sure. And then also she's working at the movie theater, which we saw in the finale trailer thing. And then there's times I feel it in my bones. A wild yearning for home. Her trying to get her friends to try her stuffing, and they won't, which again, valid.
Why would they want American?
Sure.
Stuffing.
I get it. I don't really like stuffing either. But, and then I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is playing, mind you, by Taylor Swift in the background.
I think that's perfect for this song.
I do too, and I keep hearing people be like, how are they getting this? Like, the production value, or like the cost of putting Taylor Swift songs crazy. They must have worked out some sort of deal or something.
I know. But honestly, after watching a few Amazon Prime shows lately, I feel like they just have good music.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the exact like music person who works on like a lot of these big ones, but like the runarounds of music, great in it.
Motorheads, like really good.
So much happening, but again, Taylor Swift we know is like probably harder to get, and we know Jenny wrote the letters and everything, but it's just crazy how many we're getting. Like no one's complaining here.
Nope.
I like this song choice, and I actually like, as obvious as it may be, like it makes so much sense for Belly. She's heartbroken for like more than one reason. She's lonely. This song kind of just being like, you got to put a smile on, fake it till you make it kind of vibe.
Right, because we are seeing the side of Belly of like, she's not necessarily happy. Like, she's happy to be in Paris, maybe. I think she's struggling and like obviously feeling so lonely. So she's, faking it till you make it.
Yeah, babe, you got to fake it till you make it.
I did. Even when you die.
He said he'd love me all his life. See? This actually works more than I thought it does.
Right? I think so too. He said
he'd love me all his life.
Life
was too short. Breaking down, I hit the floor. And she did hit the floor on the beach.
You're good, and you can even do it with a broken heart.
We see her walking back into her apartment too, and Taylor's texting her and saying like, hey, call me when you get home or whatever. To place this on dates, this is on Thanksgiving. Okay, which
Conrad, I think, was alone in California then.
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize that when watching it.
I didn't actually either, because I saw someone, say like, it broke my heart, but I
didn't put it together, and I'm like, wait, you're right. And then, mind you, Jeremiah was crying in the car. Anyway, so they were on FaceTime talking, and then obviously, she invites her to Paris, which I guess we all kind of thought was going to happen even before I feel like the trailer dropped. It makes the most sense that Taylor would go visit her. But I love that it's for like New Year's Eve.
Me too. It's perfect.
Yeah, and that you're really seeing like, again, the pacing of this episode kind of surprised me because I just wasn't expecting it to like,
I know,
go boom, boom, boom. Like, I don't mind that, and I think it was necessary. Like, we definitely need that.
Yeah, I agree.
But it does confuse me. Like, I keep seeing like this conversation of, was episode 9 totally like necessary? Like, could we have just skipped from episode 8?
It's hard to look at it like that.
10. I know, and I'm like, maybe when everything is out, I'm gonna rewatch it and see, and skip episode 9 and then see.
Yeah, where you end up.
Yeah,
that's actually a good idea.
Did I like when I already forget it? You know what I mean?
Belly asks how Jared's doing, and Taylor says he's kind of the same, and then goes into saying like, this is weird, this is hard.
Yeah.
Like she's in the middle of it, obviously.
Right. I know. And yeah, because Taylor is, and you know what? Taylor seems a little bit more fed up with Jeremiah than normal, like when she leaves the room, obviously.
And also, Steven.
Yeah. I liked the part though with Steven and Taylor just saying a slight mention. I thought it was funny, and it was kind of like, oh! You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
a
it was
little bit
crazy.
Further than PG than I thought they sometimes are.
Especially Steven. Like, we don't see that. Yeah, take your top off, leave your skirt on.
You're ready to shake cheeks. Like, and then she walks back out, and then that's where I'm saying like they were being kind of like, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily sassy to Jeremiah, but it's very much so like definitely like banter back and forth. Don't get me wrong. It's like more playful than not.
Yeah, but they're being like purposely harsh to like, you know, check him.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, we find out Jeremiah living with Steven. We find out a lot that is happening with Jeremiah. And actually, this whole episode, I've learned a lot about Jeremiah. And you know what? Maybe with this context, feel a little bit differently because it's like, wait, he doesn't want to work at his dad's company, okay? Clearly, he has a passion for the food of the world.
Which, that actually does make a lot more sense.
With the chocolate mirror glaze.
Yes, like, now that we have this context that he's going into, like, the kitchen
like, he's a
realm of things.
Yes.
Like, it makes sense why.
I think they're going to make him a chef or a cook or something.
Which actually would make sense.
That's what I'm saying. Good.
We see it throughout this whole episode of him, like, being this cook. He cooked Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
He cooked, for Christmas, he made something, which we'll get into.
Right. Oh, yeah. The carrots.
Oh, yeah. We also get wrapped up on Lucinda, by the way.
Yes.
Of how
Taylor,
or she paid back Taylor.
Right.
And that's how Taylor's able to go to Paris. Belly asks Taylor to tell Jeremiah hi, and then it pans to him making out with someone. Thanks to you guys, you pointed out that it was Brett and Jeremiah who were hooking up, and then he obviously walked into Jeremiah kissing
some girl.
Yeah. The girl.
Yeah.
And Steven yells at him and says, maybe process your emotions and stop hooking up with your with their friends and colleagues.
Yeah. They're probably already a little bit fed up with him because it sounds like I don't think Taylor lives with Steven yet, but like she's clearly there a lot.
Yeah. Steven asks Taylor how Belly is, and like right in front of Jeremiah, and she says she's living her best Paris girl life.
Yes.
Which she's obviously doing, like, you know,
right,
girl code, like
yeah, of course,
kind of vibe,
of course.
And then Jeremiah tells them to get a room.
I thought that one, again, you guys heard me. I was like, were you not just smacking dacking next door right there in front of everybody?
That's what I'm talking about.
At least.
Crazy. And then, Steven was like, dude, this is my entire apartment, by the way.
Yeah.
I own this.
And then now we're really laying the groundwork, you guys, for Denise and Jeremiah. Like, this is where
it makes so much more sense. And I'm actually seeing it.
I like that.
Together.
I know, like, a lot of people's argument is, like, Denise is too good for him, and I do totally agree with that.
Of course.
And I don't think that girls ever should go in relationships trying to fix boys, but I do think, like, Jeremiah, through this episode, is showing a little bit of growth, which I do appreciate. And I do think, I saw this one thing where it's, like, I like the playfulness that Jeremiah brings out of Denise, which I do think is important. Like, you know, opposites do attract to them sometimes.
Yeah.
In how she maybe can lead him into a more serious,
you
know, maybe she won't put up with his shit as much. I think that's where it comes down to,
which is what I think we were seeing in this episode of, like, her saying, like, automatically, like, I'm not your mother, I'm not gonna help you pack, or whatever.
Just kind of like that kind of dialogue being important, I do think is the case. And I think that I
could see it.
I hope that he has that potential, and I think he does. You know, we're being positive here, you guys.
Yeah.
This is the end.
Yeah, all we have left unless it's positive.
That's all.
When Adam showed up with Denise to Thanksgiving, and Jeremiah is, like, visibly freaked out, which we didn't understand at the time.
No.
But it makes sense. Because, like, last episode, I think we saw them hugging at the end of the episode, maybe.
Yeah.
So you would think they would be on good terms.
But
obviously, whatever, like, time jump, what is that? Probably a few months to Thanksgiving from their wedding.
Yeah.
Something happened, which we get to find out.
Yeah.
And at Friendsgiving dinner, this is also when Oh Gemini is playing by Role Model, which I still can't barely hear it. No. I don't count that guy. I'm actually quite mad about it. Can I say?
I'm actually kind of pissed about it too, because first of all, I was really, really rooting for a Role Model song in this series, and the fact that it's so buried again, I understand it, because it's like
in the background,
there's things happening. You know what I mean? Like, there are things happening. I get it.
I get it too.
But I think that I just think that Role Model's lyrics, and, like, especially from his last album, like the songs would fit their situations so well.
I know.
Oh Gemini even, like,
is perfect. Sun protector,
which I guess
recliners. Like,
I think Oh Gemini to me is, like, kind of random for this scene, which I have not said much in this series, because I think they're always really on the nose.
Yeah,
and I think it does make sense with a greater scheme, but I just think for this scene I'm confused by
especially
it.
with
I think
them,
it's supposed to be background music maybe.
Well, that's I think
Clearly.
it's like technically like they're playing it in the apartment for background music, but I would rather have this song or any role model song. I would appreciate it as like a whole song.
Yeah.
With because a montage or something.
I know a lot of you probably already know the lore. Not to get into the nitty-gritty of everything.
Nitty-gritty.
I'm not even going to re-say that. Model Tucker dated Emma Chamberlain for a few years. This song is about Emma Chamberlain. Basically, she's a Gemini. And Tucker's a Taurus like her. So this is very special to us, as you can see. But anyway, the song kind of just being about like them breaking up and him being like kind of reflective on the situation or like the relationship and being like, you can still call me up kind of and like cuss me out if you're mad. Kind of taking ownership for it in a way and like things like that. Like dirty hands from all your trauma. I'm digging up 50 states away, but honey, I'm thinking of you. We're hanging on by threads and I can't hold it any harder on my end. Like the end of their relationship.
It's a good song. It's a really good song. It's inconvenient that it's played in the background of them talking.
Yeah, that's more
me. Like
that's
I'm
the
kind
right
of
word,
I'm
Jamie.
Hurt by it.
Inconvenient.
At Friendsgiving, Adam praises the workers, which was funny. Like his workers, Denise, Steven, all of them, and like visibly, obviously not Jeremiah.
And he kind of stood on business low key though. Like honestly, like
yes.
Didn't he? I mean, he kind of
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah kind of stood up for himself, which shocked me a little bit in front of everybody in the first place. And the second,
I do
agree.
agree.
In general, that he did it.
Yeah.
Is this about me not taking the job or whatever? And then you kind of hear the dialogue of Adam finding out that he's actually not in classes, which I'm like, man, Redberg is not a dog, dude. Like,
no, he's so
oblivious.
He's just a stupid friend.
Yeah, I think that's maybe what it is more so.
One of those people that have
little brain dead.
Yeah, awareness of like anyone, not just his health, just like the situation.
Where Taylor even was trying to cover for him. She's like, oh yeah, he's been taking online classes or something. She
said.
Yeah.
And then, because Redbird said something about the frat house, and then Adam was like,
by.
And Adam was like, that's funny. I thought you were living there.
Yes.
And that's where this all happened. And then they were pulled to a side to talk in private. Yeah. And Adam said he's been lying. Jeremiah says because Adam is like always constantly mean to him, which is valid. I get it. He thinks he's stupid.
And again, I think that this kind of dialogue has been needed from since season 1. Open communication, people. Whatever happened to it, like lost form of art.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Like this could have ended in season 1 if everybody just talked a little bit more. You know what I mean?
And then dun dun dun, I called it. Adam is cutting him off because he needs to learn to be a free bird. And
yes.
I knew this was coming because I just feel like every drama like this has to have like a person cut off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. And he's what, 21, 22?
Also leads us to after Friendsgiving, the debrief between Denise, Steven, Taylor, Jeremiah, and they're all agreeing with Adam, which is kind of funny. Yeah. They're like,
hey, you don't have a job, you don't have anywhere to live.
I mean, they're good friends. They're just straight up.
And I do agree with that.
I agree.
That's true. That makes a good friend. See, I try to tell you that sometimes.
What are you talking about?
When I'm being too honest and you say, okay, you're being a bitch.
Jeremiah says he will just crash at Denise's then because they're obviously like kicking him out a little bit.
I was like, oh, this is how they're doing that. Like, again, if it were real life, I'd be like, okay, come on. That was crazy. But
this makes so much more sense because we weren't sure how that would ever make sense, like where this plot line
wait.
But if it's forced, it makes sense.
Forced proximity.
That's what I mean.
We love that shit. Actually, I didn't even
they are forcing them to be in the same room for at least a week. It's supposed to be 1 week, which we later find out it jumps to a month. Yeah. And Taylor says he sleeps, cooks, and boxers, which is a plus, which I thought was funny because I think Taylor's trying to like land it on Denise, obviously.
For sure.
Of like...
Then obviously on Thanksgiving we cut to the other scenes that are happening, which Laurel and John are very much so confirmed they're back together. They're at home cooking, which again, I really love that. I think it's sweet. And I think that it's very much so in line, again, parallels maybe Belly's relationships and things like that we've kind of touched on before.
Like it's okay to get back together.
Yes. Yeah.
Break up.
Again, if it makes sense and if that's where your heart is. And sometimes, maybe
I wonder if they know.
Just need a break. What?
I wonder if they know.
Yeah, I know. They probably just are like, whatever, it works, whatever. Conrad calls Laurel, which I thought was really sweet, and they talk, and you can tell they're really close, and
I love that.
I do too, and also, you get a little peeky view into his little junk drawer, or should I say memorial? Okay. What?
Dun, dun, dun.
The Polaroid.
The Polaroid.
Which, mind you, I was also reminded on Twitter that Belly doesn't actually know that he has, I don't think, or like even has seen. Because it was kind of more so, remember, Steven took it of them.
Oh.
Then Belly and him were like nothing. And so I don't know that she's seen it and maybe probably even knows that it's sitting there and he looks at it all the time like that.
That's crazy. Imagine that.
Can you even fathom, you guys? I'm not even getting into this, but like the Joe Goldberg things with Conrad make me like want. They make me laugh so much because it's so fucking funny and crazy.
Is that like the when he was in, because was Joe in Paris this like past season? I
Yeah.
never watched that season.
But they're just people are just saying like Conrad's a stalker and like creeping him. Like,
how do you see that?
What? Anyway, so and then he's talking and he obviously like checks in with Laurel about Belly and is like, you know, how's she doing? Is she coming home? Kind of thing. And I loved that. And I think Laurel being like very open about talking about her, and she knows where Conrad stands obviously to an extent. Like whenever she's, you know, telling him about it and he's like, oh, well, it must be going well then. That's nice. Yeah. Even though it's probably killing him to like not have any communication with her.
I know. And she gives like the best advice. She's like, well, like the only person you can, like, she can't speak for Belly if she wants to be reached out to. And Laurel gives
really
him
healthy parenting thing. Like you know, that versus like Lucinda where she's trying to like, you know.
Force it.
Yes.
And do whatever you need. Conrad also confirms Christmas in that conversation of that he's coming.
He's going for Christmas.
And Laurel said that Steven said Jeremiah is fine with him coming, which
in fact Jeremiah was not fine. Then we flash to Conrad writing his letters, or like you see him start to write it, and then you hear his voiceover, which I just wasn't expecting to actually get his like it. I don't know. I think no, actually, what I thought this whole time was going to happen was Belly was going to open them and it was going to be in her voice. Like in the book, it's from her point of view.
Yeah, I feel like you always imagined them in Belly's voice reading for whatever reason.
Exactly.
But no.
You
do have them.
Oh, see, I do have the letters here. Wait, check that one. We're trying to like decide what books have the letters. Why do I think that this one doesn't have the letters? Yeah, we don't get their letters, I don't think.
But you get them together.
Yeah.
They go wherever you go.
In this edition, we cannot find it's so weird to me. But then in like these ones, I mean, obviously like when I used to read it, like that's not my old edition of it, but turn the page to read the letters Conrad sent to Belly.
I love that you say it like that.
That's funny as hell.
With the explanation point. Shouldn't I Give Up by Mahiro is playing, which was interesting because it says time escapes, then we're replaced by the waves that crash behind us and the memories that blind us to the past. Hanging out so fast, put a comma by the trauma, add another I don't wanna. Shouldn't I give up? Shouldn't I give up? With the letter.
Yeah.
I will say this letter, when it was read, gives so much clarification to the trailer that we saw of Belly being so happy.
Yeah. I do agree with that too. Don't you think it kind of looks like episode 5 where it's like through Conrad's lens and everything is very bright?
It's golden.
It's golden, yeah.
It makes so much more sense.
Imagination.
Yes, to see that point of view because we see Belly just right before this, obviously in the first scene, saying it's been really hard for her and not like the happiest times.
No. Let's talk about the book for a second, really quick, for those who care about the book. I find it kind of interesting, but it ends with, you know, Jeremiah, Belly not getting together. Okay. Yeah. Truly did have the best of intentions. It's just we weren't meant to be. Whatever. Then it goes to a couple years later and it flashes to their wedding day, Conrad and Belly's wedding day. Basically, Susanna's letter to her at the very end of the book, then you get their letters where she's kind of reflecting, like, even now, all these years later, I still read them. Conrad's letters to me when I was studying abroad in Spain. Just every once in a while, I pull them out and sit down and read each one. I know them all by heart, but they still touch me. They make me feel it all over again. To think that we were once both very young, very far apart, and still finding our way back to each other, which I think is really important because a lot of the dialogue, again, I know a lot of you guys don't feel this way, but for those who do, if you do, feel like Belly's letters back to him, which we'll get to, are like a little bit more standoffish. They are, definitely, but I think that it's for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know, like it's for a good reason, I think. At the
I think
point she's in.
I think it's I agree, but I think I have a thing on it, actually.
Okay, perfect. But they do mean a lot to her nonetheless. Anyway, the letters that, you know, this is it the exact same letter?
I think so. It starts off the same.
See, that's the thing. They're a little bit different than the book ones, which I kind of appreciated.
Do you want to read that?
Okay.
And I can read some of this.
Yes.
So it says, Dear Belly, firstly, I don't even know if I should be writing to you or if this is allowed. If it's not, just say so and I'll understand.
Where they changed that because it says, I hope it's allowed. Go on.
Okay. I should be memorizing the cardiovascular system, but I'd rather be writing you. That made me cry the other day.
I just choked over it. The other day it really got me. See, and then so in cute. Here it says they changed it so much. It's like, I hope you don't throw this away without even opening the box, because if you do, you'll miss out on something very important. Okay, fine. Something that once was very important to you. So this is like, obviously, like talking about one of his next letters. Anyway, go on.
I think I like this one.
I kind of do too.
Because
it's more realistic, maybe.
Yeah.
Go on.
It says, sometimes I try to picture what your life is like over there, which makes so much more sense with the trailer, because it pans to her. We see her, all those trailer scenes of her being happy with her friends and being happy in Paris. Sometimes I try to picture, okay, I imagine you sitting in a little cafe drinking. What does Belly drink in Paris? Cafe oooooh. Oolé.
You knew that.
I know. I didn't come out right. Disgustingly sweet pastry, or maybe some Sour Patch Kids. Do they even have those in Paris? I bet if they do, you will find them. Or maybe the French Belly doesn't eat junk food. Probably different over there. I bet Paris is beautiful during the holidays. I heard you're staying for Christmas, which I guess that means you're happy. I like picturing that. Well, Merry Christmas, Belly. I hope Paris is everything you dreamed it to be.
Which, again, while you're like listening to him say all of that, we have like the montage of her in Paris and things like that, which again, I don't know if some of those are real moments that happened. That's what I took from it. Yeah. And then actually while you're reading that, I'm like, okay, so while I'm reading the other letters that are in this book, it's kind of like they mashed a few all together to make that one, but shortened it at the same time.
Because this one is long.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't make sense. Like, I feel like this is a perfect...
No. Yeah.
The one they did.
I agree. I really like how they did it, honestly. Yeah. Because in his first letter, it's firstly, I don't even know if I should be writing you. If this is allowed, I hope it's allowed. I went to your house to fix your mom's computer. I went into your room to use the printer, and I saw Junior Minson sitting on the bookshelf looking incredibly pathetic. Remember him? Polar bear, wears glasses, a very stylish scarf. Talks about that and... sends it in a box, like his first letter he sends with the box. Yeah. I kind of like that they swapped it to be he sends the letters, then sends a box like afterwards. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then in the second letter, Dear Belly, this is weird writing you like this. I think the last time I wrote someone an actual letter was a thank you card to my grandma for graduation money. I think my mom was big on thank you card. Oh, by the way, you're welcome for Junior Mint. Laura told me you said thanks. Geez, I was hoping for a thank you card, but I guess we can't be as polite as me. Haha. No. Here it says I should be working on biochem, but I'd rather be talking to you. Laurel says your Spanish is getting better, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, again, an accumulation of these letters.
Yeah, it is like a little mashup of it.
Yeah. See, and then this one, he sends also another thing with Sour Patch Kids.
Right.
With the second one.
Okay.
So it's two different boxes, I guess. Here's the biggest bag I could find. It's economy size. The next time I see you, I'm sure you'll be toothless, but happy. I really do hope you're happy.
That's crazy.
So again, what?
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Seriously. And then those who think, oh my God, Conrad's fucking desperate sending these letters. Yeah.
Another one.
Pretty fucking desperate. Even like, again, these letters, to me, the book ones make him sound even more desperate, which again, we love.
Yeah.
Men should be desperate. So far, I've written you 2 letters and you've written me, well, none, which is fine. Go ahead and feel free not to write me back. Seriously, don't feel obligated or anything. He didn't do, like, what's the second letter in here? We'll get into the other one when we get back to his other letters here, but I just am saying, like, I like the differences. I think it all makes more sense.
I do too, and I love that we got the montage of Belly in Paris with it and like his point of view of it.
Yes. And also, did you see the behind the scenes of Benito and Lola, like IRL, like they're behind the scenes and stuff? Like there are a few outfits that I haven't seen in here.
Oh yeah, I was so confused by that.
I'm so confused.
What are those?
So cute, and I'm like, I don't know if this is like Lola and Fernando or like Belly and
I was getting that confused because they posted that one reel, maybe TikTok, and they're kind of like at the sink cuddled up.
With the Olivia Dean song. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, where did these come from and why are they so cute? I'm like,
was it from next episode? I don't understand, but like
in real life.
Yeah, they would be really cute.
We are shippers, if not one thing.
But then we see Belly read the letter.
Yeah.
And then it is moved on to Christmas in Paris. Celine leaves the cafe and Belly closes by herself and says she has a whole plan for Christmas alone. And then she goes into like drink wine and text Jeremiah Merry Christmas. And then we see like Jeremiah almost reply.
Yeah.
The bubbles go up. Classic.
Yeah.
Go back down.
Girl, that's happened to me too.
She dances alone to Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, which Real.
Okay, and somebody said there's also a parallel to when. Okay, so in that one episode, in the Christmas scene from this season, Belly was watching Home Alone whenever Conrad scared the crap out of her, remember?
Right.
And in that scene, I guess Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree was playing, and then we get her flashback to this Christmas. Yes, in...
Yeah.
Paris.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm like, wait, that was just like a little thing I saw on TikTok or something. So
yeah, Benito walks up on her while she's in the middle of dancing, scares her a little bit, and he comes in. They drink wine, and he says her Christmas is very uninspired.
Yeah, and I think
boring.
that is fun. Okay, so I think that's actually a really funny detail that I didn't put any importance on until now. That I don't know that Belly cares to like, because I think he was like definitely like joking. Don't get me wrong, but he very clearly like is that kind of guy, like the like
performative.
he loves the poetry. And
that's what that
he has a motorcycle,
and she kind of called it out of it.
Yes, like okay, like
we get it.
It doesn't seem like someone Belly like would be super like obsessed with or interested in like someone being so serious. Like takes it a little bit seriously.
He says there is beauty in emptiness in Spanish to her, I believe, like reciting
a poem.
Yeah.
In one of the future letters from Conrad, at least in the book, I don't know if this happens in the show because I don't think it has yet, so I'm gonna read it because of that. But speaking of news, she told me you met some Spanish guy named Benito and he rides around on a scooter. Really, Belly? A guy named Benito with a scooter? He probably wears leather pants and has long stringy ponytail. I don't even want to know. Don't tell me. He probably looks like a model and weighs 100 pounds and writes you poetry in Spanish. I don't know what you see in a guy like that. And
that's actually so funny.
Yeah, because I don't think that wasn't in one of his letters.
And I feel like we won't get that either.
I don't think so because obviously he's going there now. So
right.
Maybe he's gonna be Benito.
I mean,
maybe he'll say it in person.
I don't know if they're going to be a thing still. It's kind of foggy right now. If it will time jump again and they're like not together.
But I think even maybe in replacement of that, you kind of just see that happen. Like that
and it's clear.
Benito. Yeah. You know, that he's that guy.
Yeah.
Love him though. Anyway.
He's cute.
Yeah. And they're having such good moments too. Like they're playing darts. They're having a good time. And you can tell like they get along enough and they're like having a good time. You know, there's obviously chemistry there.
Yeah. And then they drive off on his Vespa and Belly's like, you not with all that wine you just drank while she literally drank the same amount or more probably.
Right.
But she drives, which I thought could be a little metaphor. She's in control.
I agree with that.
Because it was very like unnecessary, right?
No, definitely. And I think it was her being like, no, like taking, like being like a
like
boss
confident.
bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yes, exactly. And being confident, but like, no, I am like kind of speaking up and then also taking the literal reins.
Yeah.
I like that. Flashing to when she's saying like they're nothing serious kind of thing. Like,
right.
That kind of, she's setting the tone for the relationship in general.
Yeah. Boundaries, which comes with,
he needs to.
Yeah. It comes with that growth, I think.
For sure. Cousin's Christmas though, which was it was so pretty, like the flash and things.
It was really pretty. That one scene of like the snow on the beach was everything.
The beach.
I love it. Yep. I love to crave a season I'm not in.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree. And we squashed some beef between Steven and Jeremiah. Steven and Conrad.
I love that.
I agree too, and I think it was much needed. They're playing their video games. Steven is giving him the cold shoulder, obviously, and Conrad's like, dude, like, what the fuck? Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, like, necessary. I'm so glad that happened, and I'm still confused how it's funny to watch Steven switch up the way he's like, no, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, he's like, no, we don't hate you, like, whatever. And it's like, okay.
Which I get it, because he's kind of like, I'm just, he doesn't know how to be in the middle of it, which I get.
Sure.
However, he is very, very much cold. With that perspective.
But he changes really fast. I'll give him that. Okay.
So, I don't know.
They squash it fast, I thought it was funny, too, that Conrad's kind of like, yeah, isn't it funny that Taylor Jewel's the only one who replies to my text, and like, that Taylor's on his side. Again, I was the fucking CEO of Team Jeremiah.
Conrad says he misses them both. Steven says Jeremiah seems better now that he has the job and is employed.
Right. So it's kind of updating us in one swoop, which I like too.
I agree.
I liked that episode as well. Like, not everything has to be shown, which I do feel like, oh my God, a lot of things in this series in general, they show you rather than do it like this.
Yeah, I agree.
But I liked this.
And then Bleachers Ismo plays. And it says, but you were just a kid when they told you you'd be born to bleed, little soldier. Just look at you. You made it out.
I love that.
I just love a Bleacher song, I think.
Yeah.
It's so fitting to me. I don't know. Every time they play Bleachers,
right,
which only one other time.
Yeah.
Just like the vibe is there.
I agree. And it's kind of like interesting because there's like the one scene where Belly's in Conrad's room. I don't know if it's season 1 or 2, and it's kind of like
it's a very
good parallel. Yeah. And again, two yearners are yearning for each other still, and
which we kind of see whatever you were just talking about in the book of him going into the room kind of matches up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes.
But God, I'd be there every day if I were
just laying in her bed. Yeah, that's called it's called like real life manifestations. He's sitting there, and who do you see in the little corner there? Junior Mint, which is just a little foreshadow, I think, to him sending it to her.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jeremiah is pulling up to Christmas and not going in, but I do think like the conversation that him and Laurel had was productive, and I thought it was kind and nice. He redeemed himself. You know, he was like, I'm sorry for how I treated you about the wedding. She was very like empathetic towards it as well, and like obviously open to it.
So glad.
Yeah.
Could have broken them.
Beef was squashed this episode, if not one thing.
I know, like it was really tied in a knot of everything's on good terms now. Even we see later on. Yeah. Because Jeremiah, he can't go in. He can't go into the house without thinking of them. He says he's not ready to go in there and see Adam being mean to him too, like alluding to him being like him too. It's
sure.
All of it.
Yeah.
It's Conrad and Adam.
That, and I understand like a lot of it, but some of it I was just like, okay.
It's just hard to.
I would say Conrad's getting everybody in this breakup here, babe.
And someone pointed out the Thanksgiving thing. He literally spent Thanksgiving alone in California.
And before this day, Stephen was not even like,
right. So I don't think
that's
fair to say, but it's necessary, I think, to see Jeremiah like his perspective on life. How he perceives Conrad,
where he clearly like he has grown, and him apologizing and things show that, but he maybe has a little bit more growth to do, and that's normal. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna again change overnight, so we're here for positive.
I agree
in general, but
the meal thing we said earlier, how he cooks, we see him kind of cooking in this one again, but it's her favorite, which I think is their grandmother.
That makes sense.
It was cute.
I agree. Yeah, and I thought that was nice. And again, I think it also I just really have a prediction that they're going to make Jeremiah a chef. I don't know.
It would make sense.
It would make sense.
They could really spin this off into something more like, like Emily in Paris, where they have that chef.
Yeah.
Christmas and Cousins is continued. Conrad knows he isn't coming and is sad because I think like any sibling can relate to like another sibling not showing up, especially if they're like knowingly mad
fight, right? Like them. And you just want to like be able to talk
and just
out.
See them,
or
like have things to be normal. I think that's a sad feeling
for sure.
So I get it. And Laurel says he isn't coming to everyone, so they're going to eat.
What?
Laurel says they're going to come.
I was like, wait, what?
Laurel says he isn't coming to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So and then they can eat.
And they were waiting for him. That's the worst, when the person you're waiting for doesn't show up to your fucking thing. Oh, literally. No.
Nah.
Anyway.
No.
Then it also flashes to, again, I think another redeeming scene for Jeremiah, like, and again, really helping his character arc here. He's sitting there talking with Denise. Yeah, get into it. Clearly in Denise's apartment where he's staying, and he's all cozied up.
Denise is being such a
Team
good,
Conrad
was girl.
Yeah, she's
a good
such
friend.
a good girl. No, she really is, and she's like being very like open to him leaning on her and like being open in general. And I just like her energy. She's very like
nurturing.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Okay, I was gonna say like nurturing, but not like overly like nice about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like very like just
comforting.
There we go, comforting. Where she's like, well, you think I have all my day wasn't all rainbows, buttercup asses. You know what I'm saying? Like,
which I think that scene was important because he said something along the lines of like, or she said it like, oh, you thought I never had my heart broken before?
Yeah.
And I think that makes him think of her. We see them think of each other like in a relationship romantically a little bit.
That's true. That's a good point.
I don't know.
Yeah, and he was very open, obviously, about him feeling like, okay, this is like everything like this makes him feel like he was 17 being dumped by Belly again, which was very clearly a trigger for him. And again, rightfully so. I'm not taking that away from him. That was hard, and that breakups are like deaths, and then they bond about like, you know, Susanna's death and being like, it's kind of harder than losing my mom in a way because, well, he didn't say in a way. I'm saying it how if I were Jeremiah, how I would have rephrased that in a way because Belly is still alive and you still have to hear about her and see her and kind of and
she's
deal with the fact that she is alive. Whereas her mom's gone.
This is the hard part about a breakup.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, see people move on.
Right.
First holiday without them.
Right. But they're still like, again, even especially when your families are intertwined like this, I think it's probably a little harder. Haven't had to deal with that one. But yeah. So I get that. And again, they're bonding and it was very clearly setting them up to be something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then Denise says something about like having to forgive them and because it won't hold power over him then, which later on he forgives Conrad, which I think that's important because I do think that had something to do with it.
Right. She also invites him to family Christmas, like, come on, whatever. Yeah, and he's really like, nice. You think I'm pretty? Love that. Again, kind of like adding that little flirtatious.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yep. And then what do we know? New Year's. Taylor is there. Again.
Emotional.
Boom. This was such a cute scene, just in general. And Taylor being there in general is so cute, I think.
So cute. Belly in it was so cute. She's like mid-shift.
Yeah.
Just waiting for her. She's in a cute little sweater, a little apron.
I
love it.
They go shopping with Benito as well, so they're like entertaining everybody.
Next scene, they're just with them, all with each other, and then they go back to her apartment, and we see them setting up for New York, setting up for her New Year's Eve party.
I love that, and it's like, and they were talking also like I liked. Again, Taylor obviously is Belly's best friend, so it's like they can talk about things that Belly doesn't talk about with other people. But like, she's kind of putting her in her place, like, you and Benito, like that kind of thing. Why is it not happening? Kind of thing.
Because it doesn't. I would think the same thing. It doesn't really make sense of like you have the hottest
really likes you
person.
Yes. So what are you doing, girl? And she's like, you're clear. Like again, she knows Belly. She knows she's probably still like hung up on. Not only Conrad, but the Jeremiah situation.
She really hasn't seen Belly ever be with someone else other than like some fling I remember at a party.
Yeah.
In the book.
Right.
But,
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And she kind of said you need to have a rebound. And I think that's important also to preface and to put the emphasis that Benito is more or less especially a rebound. Even if, you know what I mean, you don't get the dialogue. Yeah, for us to know as watchers.
I do agree with that.
Because you see this conversation, and then obviously Belly gets the phone call from Jeremiah. They talk it out. It's nice to hear your voice, and they had a really good conversation that I think wrapped a lot of everything up again. I think, Jeremiah apologized, or like making sure she's okay as well, or saying, I hope you're okay as well. Like, I'm doing okay. So Belly knows, and Belly then can also move on.
Yeah, and be like, finally, he doesn't hate me. I'm free.
Yeah, and she was really happy he called. Obviously, she's probably been wanting that. And again, I think they needed that, and she wasn't going to reach back out probably or call him because, again, he said, don't fucking call me again.
Like, how many times?
So she's not. Yeah. And so I thought that was nice. And I liked the conversation too, how it ended, where it's like, I should probably let you go. You sound busy. And he's like, yeah, I should let you go too. I think there's more meaning than just that there.
Yeah, it was, yeah. There's a lot of spice to it. Again, with the Benito thing too, because I think too, if for non-readers, I think it could be really confusing. I've seen that confusion of like, what's going to happen next episode? Is she going to end up with him? There's no way.
Right.
Did she go to Mexico?
Yeah.
So just touching on that again, that like
definitely.
I think it's important for them to close that.
I agree.
I guess they open it back up later on, but he is just a fling.
Yeah, definitely. And well, again, in this scene, okay, so they're, at the party, everything's fine, everybody's dancing, they're hanging out. Benito comes and, says she looks beautiful, and I thought that was really I think that was cute.
Me too.
And then also brings a package up, which I thought was ironic. The Benito's holding the package from, who guessed it? Conrad Fisher.
Benito's holding her baggage.
Oh my God. And that's crazy. And then Taylor's like, what? And it's like, can I open this? Where it's Belly was like, kind of like, Belly was like, that's my package.
I know.
Like, she probably
because
wants
that's
to be
like an intimate thing.
Listen,
I think
if I were Belly, I would be like turning the lights off, lighting a candle after everybody leaves. A little wine drunk,
potion.
Yes, saging the room and then like opening it, playing like Frank Sinatra.
She wants to do that.
Yeah, and like having a moment with it.
Yeah. Taylor says this is why you can't move on, girl.
Right.
She's like, is this really like Conrad Fisher?
So you guys are writing fucking letters now?
And she goes, they're nothing notes.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Right.
And she hasn't written back yet. Taylor asks if she's afraid of getting hurt, but Belly says, no, I'm afraid of hurting someone else. So we really get to see Belly's full perspective on like how she's feeling, which I feel like that kind of was clear.
But I do think it says a lot too that she opens Junior Mint and like looks at the necklace too, which I thought it was funny because I don't think Conrad knows that damn necklace is there too.
And I thought I saw theories about that of like she had to really check if it was lost or something, or if he took it or whatever.
Imagine.
But yeah, imagine if Junior Mint came up naked.
She'd be flipping out. She'd be like on a 3-day hunt.
She'd be on Amazon.
Replacements. Taylor says it's inevitable that they both reached out on the last day of the year too, that Jeremiah and him did. That's that is crazy.
And it's like a closed chapter, which is so funny because obviously we see Conrad at the end of the episode not closing the chapter.
And the fact that...
But they really are trying to scare you, I think.
Right. I think also an accumulation of everything that has happened to this day. Jeremiah calling, them kind of being fine, her knowing he's fine. Then Taylor being like, you need a rebound. Then also Conrad sending that. Belly, obviously, Belly seems pretty impulsive. Like this felt very impulsive where she just like sees Benito and starts walking up to him and just kisses him.
I think, yeah.
It was kind of like, again, it felt like everything was bubbling up to that.
Yeah, and she really took Taylor's advice to heart, being like, you know what? I'm going to close that chapter.
Yeah, this is closed. Watch and
I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
I'm not a nun.
Right, exactly. Like, no, I am a pute.
Also, we see Moonlight Floor by Lisa Plays. Kiss me, my pute.
My beautiful pute. You guys, why the hell did these do this? Right. We get another little jumperooski, shall we?
The other time jump that we were talking about, we see, I believe it like goes to like spring vibe
you can clearly feel
tree.
The flower.
We see Belly and Benito are kissing in bed, and it's a very hot,
sexy, steamy, yes.
scene, and which also alludes to the fact, it's saying that they've been hooking up since New Year's.
Yeah,
and then the roommate comes in because of a leak. The weird roommate.
Yeah.
In the robe.
Yeah, and I think it also, can I just say like those, because I know people are like, we don't have time for Benito, blah, 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 like move on. I think it is also it's very telling to me that like we get no dialogue from Belly about Benito.
Yeah.
It's like even her thoughts or anything. And there's nothing alluding to the fact that it's more serious than just hooking up, other than him asking her to go to Mexico with her, with him for, what was it, for grandma's birthday or something? Yeah. And that to me was a little out of place because it's like maybe he wants it to be more serious than, even though he says, I don't want to propose to you or anything.
Which that's the part that confuses me, because it's like, does he think it's more serious than she but then she does clarify it to the scene at with Gemma at the apartment, and because she's like, how poor Benny, how Benny is smitten with her, and Belly kind of says like he knows she has to go eventually and move back. Yes. So from her side, he knows, but I don't know.
And again, I think it's just important in general for us to know that Belly has hooked up with more, not for us, but for Belly. Okay, damn. But like for Belly to have hooked up with more than just the two Fisher brothers. You know what I mean?
It's needed.
Yeah. Can we all agree with that? Like, I do feel like
you gotta step out of the box.
Right. Also, spoiler to Susanna's letters. Her kind of it all comes full circles with Santa's letters. With Susanna's letters, with her being like, I hope you like experienced like other people kind of thing. Yeah. Like, I hope you've been with a bunch of people or something.
And explore the world.
Yeah,
which we see in the flashback soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And then anyway, she's talking with Gemma and kind of being like, I love your apartment. Oh my God,
could you
so
not?
Cute, of course. And we knew where that was going to go, but her also kind of saying outright like, no, Benito knows that we're not serious. Like, I got to move back and go back to my normal life and go back for graduation, which is, I thought, something that happened in the book where that's where they saw each other again, Conrad and her, but I don't know.
That would be crazy.
Right? This is technically what it says in the book. The first time I saw him again, it was another year at my college graduation, and I just knew. So that's like where they were supposed to like rekindle. But then she obviously doesn't go back for her college graduation, which is interesting.
Why they needed Paris. Like, that would be so uninteresting.
Yeah, just like all of a sudden just be there now, all of a sudden be done. Yeah,
like this needs to happen.
Then they gloss over that, whatever, and then
Gemma says... What? Gemma says that she should stay.
Oh, yeah. Gemma's like, oh, you should stay. My apartment's like, you know, you can be in my apartment. Take it. Right. And, you know, then Belly ends up calling Laurel, or Laurel calls her, whatever. And they get on the phone and are talking, and very earnestly, she's being like, I don't think I'm finished here. Like, I kind of want to stay. Gemma has this apartment open. I can do this, this, and this. She already clearly thought about this before.
She already had a really
Gemma, I was like, no, I got to go.
Crazy plan, yeah.
Yeah. There's a psych program. I don't know if it's like a psych master's program, I thought it was, or something. Yeah. I don't know. Graduate program, yeah. Right. So that would be, okay.
Yeah.
And then they mention 14, which it's Susanna's, wait, what day is it? What? April 14th? April 14th, 14 theory.
Right.
Which has happened, I guess, a lot throughout this episode. There's been a lot of mention or like little Easter eggs of the number 14, which a lot of people are taking as, oh, there's going to be 14 episodes in this season. Again, as much as I want to believe that would be amazing. So I'm going to leave it at that because, I mean, imagine. A lot of other people are saying that it's just like Susanna's death date and that being like a very big thing, obviously,
and
to them.
Putting it as maybe like, I see that like as a sign, like we
like an angel number, literally.
Like, right. Yeah. We see her in the Christmas episode. How crazy is it that we get 2 Christmas episodes this season?
You're right.
I just put that together.
Yeah.
But in that first Christmas episode, she's wearing that 14 crew neck.
Yes. And then put on screen here.
The airport.
Yes. At the very end, there's a A14 or something, or 14. Yep. And so there's a lot happening with the 14, and I'm curious to see what comes of that. So let us know what you think down below of the 14, because I'm curious.
I have honestly no idea.
And I thought the flashback too with Susanna was so sweet. Very much so Susanna being like, yeah, I'll take you there one day. And she's like, I don't care. I don't really want to go anywhere.
Yeah. Like, and she's like, well, Belly, you might change your mind.
Yeah.
I want to swim here with you and people.
When you're older, but then she's kind of like, you know what? You've always known you're a girl who knows your own heart.
I loved that. I thought that it was just like really sweet and also very telling to where she is. Cause just like Susanna was a little bit right. Obviously, she did change her mind and want to see the world. And then meanwhile, back in not Cousins, you guys made the distinction. Her grave is in Boston.
I know. I forgot about that.
We find out Susanna is a Virgo.
Yeah.
And we found out Jeremiah from one of the texts somewhere. I think it was Conrad.
Oh, that his birthday. Cancer, maybe.
Oh,
wait, no. Dolly's a Cancer.
Sagittarius.
Oh, that would make sense, I guess.
Something like that.
And Conrad can't believe it's been 5 years. And they talk about how they are forgetting her. And Jeremiah's like, well, her hands are like yours.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what was going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, with them seeing each other. And again, they clearly weren't expecting one another.
And it was so needed, I think, for them to have this conversation, honestly, there. Yeah. Because, like, I think the only way they could make up in this situation is to kind of have Susanna on
common ground with their mom. Yeah. Conrad being very open too, like being like, I'm going to keep trying because I miss you, dude. Like, I love you. I miss you and I'm sorry. Like, and I love that they just had that open dialogue of being able to talk it through with each other. I think especially as siblings, as anyone, if that was happening anywhere else, you know what I mean? But like, especially because they're siblings, I think it's so special.
Conrad says, Jeremiah, you can't take someone. She isn't an object. And the only reason that there was any wedding to break up was because you were afraid of losing her, as if a ring could make someone yours. I think that is so important for Jeremiah to hear his perspective and like Conrad hear their perspective and just like how they view it.
And Jeremiah last episode being like,
crazy different.
You can't marry me to erase him. So like his version of that to Belly is kind of in the same way. Like you can't marry someone just to keep them from your brother.
Right. Like, yeah. And like, and the only reason he brings up like how I never wanted to talk about Christmas because I knew the second I did, it would be over. Can you blame me for holding on to her as long as I could? Which I get that perspective. Like it makes more sense of like why he wouldn't ever say it. Which is so weird.
Right. You don't want to
go to cheat on her.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting. Twisted,
but I get that.
And then they bring up their promises to Susanna. Like they both had promises that they didn't know of each other maybe.
Yeah.
They hug. And then we hear Conrad being really like confessional of like owning up to being like, okay, I haven't talked since last summer. I've been writing her letters. She hasn't written me back.
Yeah, I like that because then also Jeremiah, and it's interesting because like obviously the last episode where we ended with him being like, I love that she hasn't told you and told me. Oh, interesting. She's only told me. Meanwhile, again, Conrad kind of took that, threw it out the window, and was like, yep, she's still only talking to you, basically.
Yeah,
like,
with the text of like, Belly texted Jeremiah for Susanna's anniversary.
Right.
Jeremiah was being sweet. I could never compete with what you two had. The connection was a force field. Do what you have to do. Don't expect me to be okay with it, but don't waste it either. Later, man.
Yeah.
I just think that was really, really, really needed for Conrad to like actually do what he could do, but also talk about her finally.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, yes, I agree. And him being like, you know, again, obviously, you know, he's not going to be okay with it, but him like giving his blessing in a twisted way of like, you know, he knows it's inevitable, or like if it's going to happen, it's going to happen kind of thing. Yes. And so I think for himself, that's probably the best option as well, is to be like that. But also obviously for Conrad to really go maybe full-fledged, be like, okay, like,
and I think that's what prompted him to what we see later on, because even Conrad said in this of what you had the chance to be with her after a month of us broken up, and you took it, you thought that was easy for me, and I get it because you loved her so much you forgot about everyone else. I did too. It shows like they're both in this bubble. Like, like no one stole from each other because it was such a ping pong of back and forth. Like they both experienced the same thing in different ways.
Yeah, and it's like so telling that they literally, both are in the same boat here too. Where like they've both fucked over each other in the very similar ways. I think it was like right after that, The One starts playing by Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, as he walks by, The One starts to play, and then Conrad's letter starts to play too.
Yeah. Which this is like the letter, I think that, right? This is probably the one that prompts Belly, I think, to write back, where he's like, I saw Jeremiah yesterday. We both went to visit Mom's grave. Things went better than last time we were together. No punches were thrown. He told me you'd been in touch. I might as well be completely honest here, because who even knows if you're reading my letters? Again, you might have thrown them all out without reading them, which is your right. But I'll go ahead and say it even though I don't have a right. It killed me a little that Jared's talked to you. Still, I don't think he hates me anymore, which is a good thing. Talk to Jared and everything's okay. Yeah. Maybe like that's a little bit better in her head. Like, okay, like they're on better terms now.
Yeah. And now that I think Jeremiah and Belly have talked too, it again, it makes that closure happen.
For sure.
In Belly's head of like, we can move on. Because then we also see Belly, because the letter pauses, and then we see Belly and Benito kind of talk as they move in. And then it continues.
And I think it's important too that The One is playing over, we kind of mentioned this,
Benito.
but like over Benito and over Conrad, because if you know The One, again, I don't know how many times we've talked about this damn song.
The One is like that song. Like
that song.
It's above, really. There's like a tier list, I think, of Taylor Swift songs of like your favorites, but like then there's like
my whole thing.
Like like overall like a
like,
top contender.
I just think it's such like it's like one of the best. Most perfectly written
and
songs
timeless.
Ever. I'm doing good. I'm on some new shit. Like I remember also it's the first song on Folklore, and can I just say like I remember listening to that for the first time and be like, who the fuck is this?
Because that was such a moment.
Yes, I'm doing it. I'm on some new shit. You've been saying yes instead of no, which is very Belly right now. I thought I saw you at the bus stop. I didn't though. Where obviously like Belly, I could
that's
see.
So Belly.
Like
I thought that's what was gonna happen in this episode or in this. Remember when we were getting those leaks of Jeremiah and Conrad in like, Paris? Yeah. I thought that's what we were gonna get of some sort of like seeing them, and then it's actually not. They're not there.
I agree,
but
I know. Do you think that's a fake scene, you guys? I have to because it didn't happen. But I'm like, was it just thrown out or did they do that on purpose? I hit the Sunday matinee. You know, the greatest films of all time were never made. The greatest relationships of all time never happen or like never end up being like the one that lasts kind of thing. If you wanted me, you really should have showed. And if you never bleed, you're never going to grow. But we were something, don't you think so? Roaring 20s, tossing pennies in the pool. But if my wishes came true, it would have been you. That could, I mean, have so many meanings, I feel like, with Belly. Again, with whether it's Jeremiah, Benito, or Conrad.
Yeah, but it would have been fun if you would have been the one. Yeah. Which, again, with
that one
that's
to me
the
feels more Benito. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Right? Like, kind of it's fun. But
especially with them, because at that point, they're like packing on the bed.
Yeah. Right. And I have this dream you're doing cool shit, having adventures on your own. You meet some woman on the internet and take her home and just like,
right. So Conrad in his letter,
that's what I'm saying.
And like us seeing her being happy.
Yeah. Like you think she's having such a good time, you know, whether they are or not. But back to Benito and her packing and things like that. And
that's where he says come to Mexico, please, since you're staying. And then she puts a boundary down, which I love because she's like, I'm sleeping alone the first night here in my new apartment.
I've never gotten to do that, basically.
Which I do think that's growth. Okay, because in that box, it's A12.
A12,
which that's the Easter egg, because Taylor Swift posted a pic a while ago near the A12 section, and then at the Eras Tour. It was like a reel, TikTok. And then announced months later the new album on August 12th, which we just got the Life of the Showgirl.
And then for A12 to be written here.
That's the part that's kind of, there are a lot of 14s, but there are some 12s.
So there's the group that thinks there could be 12 episodes because of that.
And we're at 10. So that would be more.
So there's the 12 and the 14 theory.
It doesn't really make sense, but like.
Yeah.
Or my thought could be like, what if Taylor Swift drops like.
A single
or people are saying So Romantic maybe could be a single that could be like dropped and featured into it somehow.
Right. That would be my guess. Because my thing is, I don't know that Taylor Swift would have pre-planned this with maybe like Jenny Han. I would think Jenny would have picked up on something A12, and then take that on her own and then make it something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just to put in.
But
I just don't know.
I'm kidding. Again,
I just don't know what. I guess I don't know what they're both capable of. Like I don't know where like
that's
ends.
the issue here. We really don't.
It's a little confusing.
I agree.
And then Conrad letter continues to Belly while Belly's in her new apartment, which is when we get to see a Sabrina parallel. I just watched that last night, which it was literally the same thing. Like even in when she's talking to Laurel, actually, she talks about how her new apartment, Gemma's apartment, looks out to something very similar of Sabrina.
Right.
Which I think this is what she was talking about. It's so true, which I just love that they keep bringing it up. I think it's like full circle.
Yeah.
Conrad says, also, in case I haven't made it clear, I think about you a lot. You're pretty much all I think about if I haven't made it clear. Love, Conrad.
I think that is my favorite quote of all time ever. Because
someone said we went from I thought you knew to just so we're clear, with just growth of Conrad, specifically of like how open, confronting he is. He's not very scared or like.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to have to. You're not guessing anymore. Like you don't have to guess anymore.
I think that's a huge statement.
For sure. I agree.
I think it's crazy. And then, we see Belly's letter back.
Epic.
Dear Conrad, I never thanked you for sending me Junior Mint, so thank you. And thank you for all your letters. It's sweet of you to think of me. I finally found a permanent apartment. This is my new address. Hope you're well.
And again, a lot of people were like kind of upset with Belly's shortness in that. And I thought it was like perfectly sweet, perfectly short. I think she is still holding back, obviously.
Which we see in the
take her holding back as her not interested or in love with Conrad anymore, which to me, I think the fact that she hasn't written back or hasn't contacted him says a lot about how much she actually still does feel for him.
I agree. And someone said, someone I read online, someone said there's like an intimacy in her not telling everything to him, like kind of giving him like just like grasp at it because she is holding back.
Yes.
And I do agree with that.
I agree for sure. And I also think like in the book when she's reflecting on the letters, I don't know if we're going to get this or not, so I'm going to like read it. Spain is where I got my first letter from him. Real letters written by his hand, not emails. I didn't write him back, not at first, but they still came once a month, every month. The first time I saw him again, it was another year at my college graduation. Also whenever she's talking about like all these years later, I still read them again. This is after like they get married, but she's talking about just every once in a while I pull them out and sit down and read each one. I know them all by heart and they still touch me. They still make me feel all over it again. To think we were both very young and very far apart and still finding our way back to each other. And I think that that's like so important. Yes. I think it just is like with the context of everything, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I think that actually shows a lot to like,
I'm sorry, I could cry. Go on.
I think it shows a lot to where people stand even right now of like why they're doing this to us. But that just shows because like that, like defining our way back to each other. That is the point.
Yeah. Her letter in the book back to him is, Dear Conrad, when I come home next spring, you better show me the family portrait. Don't you dare try to get out of it. Oh, and I'll be taking it with me since it's my gift and all. And yes, I do remember. Of course I remember. It was my best Christmas too. Right back soon, Belly. It's a very different letter than what we get in the show.
I know. And people are like, they're mourning that letter of like the favorite Christmas.
And I do get that.
I agree. I like that part of the letter of like, I remember it was my favorite Christmas. I think that's a really important detail of like, especially now that we know Christmas lore.
Sure.
Like the full of it.
Yes.
Of like Jeremiah knowing and everything.
For sure. But it does also, I do think, kind of like.
Yeah, it would be crazy in this context too. Where they are.
Yeah. I think that like, I don't know. Again, I don't really know the full reason that they're having Belly like hold back a little bit more. But obviously she's like, I think she is just more so scared of everything and just being like really trying her best to do better. And I think that's her way of trying to do better.
I agree. Is to being nice about it, but like, and saying, here's my new address so you can still write me.
Right. Like clearly she wanted him to have her new address.
I think that's actually the point of that too. Yes. I will say is like the fact that she wrote him at all shows a lot.
I agree. Because I don't think if she didn't care, she wouldn't have written him back, first of all.
Especially for the new apartment address.
Yeah. I think that that's very telling. And I also think that it's very telling she's kept all these letters and she's very clearly into them and like keeping them perfectly pristine, you know?
And someone actually said that if they zoom in on the counter where she holds them in like that rubber band, she puts like another piece of paper under it so the like things don't get indents.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's what I mean. Like, so
she
just saying,
that
she does, and I think it'll all come full circle soon. Like, obviously, they're probably gonna talk about it or something. And then also, I wanted to point out that Jenny Han said, in a recent like EW interview she did, I always planned to shoot the end in Paris. Han explains. I meant the last book. I mean, the last book is named after Casablanca, so it always felt right. I've been putting in Paris Easter eggs since the very beginning of the show too.
It's true.
Which I love. Yeah, like even season 1, you could see Nicole, I think her sweater had like Paris on it or something. It was like a bunch of things like that.
It's always been a thing.
Yep. And then obviously like Belly and Conrad watching Casablanca for their Christmas thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So good.
I love it. And then Casablanca at where's that coffee shop that we saw a few times.
Yep.
We've been seeing it.
Right. Oh, and I also saw a TikTok too that I felt like this one person on TikTok, they really explain these really well. You know the one?
That's what I was going to read.
Did you put this in?
Yeah,
you read it.
Yeah. Saying Belly was uninterested in Conrad's letter just because she told Taylor they were nothing notes or because she didn't respond to the first few is completely missing the point. She kept the letters, which shows how important they are to her. She's just being careful. Belly knows exactly how deeply Conrad affects her, so she's protecting herself by holding back.
Yeah. Especially when she's probably like feeling like she's finally in a good place too.
Yeah, I mean that has to be like hard to like I would imagine that would feel like you're retracting.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit.
Yeah.
What really matters isn't the literal words she writes, but that she chooses to write at all. That's what I was talking about. Right. Her reply to Conrad's final letter, where he vulnerably admits he isn't even sure if she's reading, reassures him that she is reading, is listening, and does care. Sharing her new address goes a step further, indicating that she wants him to keep writing. Yeah. At the same time, she holds back from saying too much, knowing that fully opening up could make everything come rushing back at once. Right. That restraint, this is what I was talking about. That restraint itself is intimate. She's showing closeness without diving all the way in because she's just not ready yet.
Yep.
I have like a wet grandma mouth from that.
I like that. Okay, and then we also get another confirmation for the next time jump, which is June. Okay?
Because
we're landing here in June.
Conrad and Agnes. They're back in California. Agnes says it's hot this June. That's there for a reason for the time jump.
Yep.
Because we just saw April as Susanna's death anniversary because we see it on her tombstone. That's like so important for this. And then she doesn't remember it being hot this June. He says it's hot in Brussels. He's going to a conference. She's like, it's only 1 hour away from Paris.
Ooh.
1 hour train ride away from Paris.
Yep.
He shows the postcard that is where?
Folded up in his wallet, you guys.
Because of course it would be.
Which I think is kind of, I don't know if this is because we're not going to get this note in the series or like in the show, but like in the very last paragraph of the book, it's for years he kept like talking about Conrad or Belly's one letter back to Conrad.
Right.
For years he kept it in his wallet, soft and creased into a million little folds. He said it kept him going, kept him hoping. But I said we should keep the letters together where they belong. And he did show me the family photo. It's hanging up in our living room. So I think that was kind of like, I don't know if paralleling that is the right phrase, but like, I don't know if that's
it's like
the thing that we're getting at. Yeah, you're getting that same thing. It like means so much and it keeps,
it's important.
Yeah.
You don't keep important things in your wallet.
Of course, babe.
And then, she said something like, if you don't go, you may regret it. If you do go, you might regret it too. And then the sign of the times starts to play.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy back to back from like the 1 to the sign of the times.
Yeah.
Just stop your crying is a sign of the times. Welcome to the final show.
Which is nuts.
Which is crazy because
don't fucking
next
remind me.
episode is supposed to be the final show.
Right.
I hope you're wearing your best clothes. You can't bribe the door on your way to the sky.
We're having a Summer Arch and Pretty Prime event in Paris. I think it's next Wednesday. I know. Fuck me. We didn't get an invite. Second of all, I have a tux I'm waiting to wear. I would wear a tux. It's black tie.
Hello, I wear this.
Come on. Why are we going to
I can't believe that we're just
we're ready to be in Paris, dude. Where's our invite? It must have gotten lost in the mail or something. But then obviously that conversation had a lot of impact on Conrad because he's at the airport, and I love that all these bitches are doing everything in person. You know, they're fuck the online shit with changing your flights. Yeah, they're doing it in person. Yeah. It's $437 more, which he's like doesn't think twice about. Okay.
Someone said he didn't put it on a credit card. He put it on his real
his debit card. Yeah. So obviously, then it cuts to Belly, Paris, getting her hair done, or she's about to get her hair done, which in the book, does it?
Chopped and unk.
Where does it say that? It says something about her hair in the book. Oh, okay. This is what it is. In one of Conrad's letters to Belly, during the half, Jer asked if I've heard from you, and I said no. He said you'd been chatting online. He said you cut your hair shorter, that it makes you look older, more mature. Then Laura showed us pictures of when she came to visit you. I want to go there someday. I heard you aren't hanging out with that guy Benito anymore. Don't say I didn't warn you. By the way, it looks good. Your hair. I don't think it makes you look older, though. Younger, if anything.
That's making me curious because like the Laurel coming to visit, like, is that gonna happen? Are they gonna get married? Like,
I had Conrad come visit instead,
right?
Or Taylor
substituted,
right? But then this is where like you confirm the time jump too, because I guess the Benito grandma thing, like she was supposed to go with Benito if she were going to do that. It would have been, I guess, like before her birthday, like whenever he said it.
I think
it was May, and now we're in June because her birthday is in June. Like,
and the Agnes thing,
and then yes, because now Agnes said it's so hot in June or something. Yeah,
and then now she's getting her hair done, and she tells the hairdresser, that her birthday will be with all her friends, and the hairdresser's like, well, that's sweet and intimate.
Yes,
and then she says she's ready for something new this summer.
Yeah. Well, does she know?
I love that because chopping hair is chopping energy.
Yes, exactly. Oh,
and then it pans to Conrad is on the plane. He's on his way.
God. It's so crazy.
That is how you get the girl.
That's what she actually says. Like,
oh yeah.
Right? She says, stand there like a ghost, shaking from the rain. She'll open the door and say, are you insane? Maybe they'll literally play that.
I could see it.
Oh my God. That would be iconic. But I'm so excited to see where this goes and to see Conrad in Paris and how, I mean, from like the leaks that I've personally seen, it looks like they work things out. Like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm optimistic.
People are saying low expectations for, maybe we could just run through these, okay? Okay, actually, I'm going to start with a different one. Why didn't Belly earn as much this season back? People are saying they're like kind of like confused by that.
Sure.
But someone said Belly has known to yearn for Conrad, especially in the books, for her entire life since they broke it off. Like it was Conrad's turn and he needs to be the one to prove himself.
Sure.
These are all my hot takes, I think.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
And to wrap it up, because like I do agree with that. She's especially in the book, she was known from a little kid to be obsessed with him. Yeah, like that's her Conrad.
Sure.
And then low expectations for the finale, and that we are robbed of Belly and Conrad moments, and it's too late now. But this is how the books were, and we weren't supposed to even see this much of Paris or
Benito at all. That's
or Benito or anything. Yeah,
it's like they clearly like they're showing a little bit more than we got in the book, but I think that makes the most sense. But I also think they're not showing enough to make it seem like he's that big of a thing. Like again, they kind of just you don't even know if they're together or not. Like
there's not even really like, dialogue between like other than the
one little thing. Yeah.
So because someone said like it's literally we get 2 pages after the wedding of after the wedding,
and it's just her recalling these things too.
Yeah, like so. I mean, this is a treat, really, to like be getting all these. In a way.
Definitely.
Because in the book, it really is like we see her, and then she kind of talks about it in the letter of like them getting married.
Yeah. Because
someone said we could get the final words of the Valentine's Day flashback from the book, because in like hearing he gave me the moon and the stars and infinity, because I guess there's this theory of a place in France with an observatory.
Yes, the Paris Observatory. Yes,
it's like, and it's like the way I think I need to put like the TikTok in it. Yeah, but she was way more about it than I am.
Across the street from that square is the Paris Observatory, which, if you don't know, an observatory is where you lay out and look at the stars. It is a place to look at constellations and stars. And I fully believe now that we see Conrad showing up in Paris that they are going to have a date here looking at the stars, and we are going to get the flashback or some discussion on the Valentine's Day scene that reminds us that Conrad will show up for her consistent.
Like a whole thing happening on the map.
Yep.
That could make it true. Mm-hmm. Which that would make sense to me to still see that because I don't know why they didn't do it. Last thing is Belly's dad having a heart attack.
No, and to me, I understand that theory, and I actually would believe it if there were more time. But I'm like, there's no fucking way unless they make it
just
again
wouldn't
to
make
round
sense.
them up to get them home. That's the only way I could see him having a heart attack is to get them home for whatever reason. But what I heard somebody else say, it's probably just an ad because in one of these other shows that's happening right now, they say something about Pepsid too.
Which it is really weird.
Only murders in the building.
Oh, they do kind of the same.
Yes.
Because it is weird, like random. Like why is that happening?
Yeah.
But
that would make the most sense to me. Yeah. That it's just an ad.
Oh, and then someone said, so I guess Jeremiah is never going to know about Adam cheating on Susanna.
Yeah, I guess not.
Kind of wrapped it up too.
Okay, there's also this other thing floating around. I think it's from like book 1. And so we didn't get this in season 1, obviously. But there's this one part of the book where Belly is talking to Conrad. And I think it's like after they kind of get together or something where she's like, I've loved you since I was 10 years old. He blinked. You're the only boy I've ever thought about. My whole life, it's always been you. You taught me how to dance. You came out and you got me the time I swam out too far. Do you remember that? You stayed with me and you pushed me back to the shore the whole time. You kept saying, we're almost there, and I believed it. I believed it because you were the one who was saying it. I believed everything you ever said. Compared to you, everyone else is saltines, even Cam. And I hate saltines. You know that. You know everything about me, even this, which is really that I love you. Obviously, again, we didn't get that in the show, so I'm wondering, like, and other people are also wondering, like, if that would come back around in some way, if that dialogue happening, and I think that could be. Mm-hmm. I think that could make sense, and I like that.
Yeah, to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I do agree. That would be like a really cute final touch, maybe, of remembrance of some sort. I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm just so, like, especially after, like, going over all the notes.
Right.
Or the letters.
Yeah.
It just really confuses me how they're going to do it. I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be good, but.
I am so excited.
I'm so excited. Here are my song predictions. Ready?
Go.
Need Fresh Out the Slammer. Yeah. Of course. They need to put all of these in.
Just fucking put them all in now. You get one last chance.
Infinity, One Direction. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah.
How You Get the Girl would be really great. Mm-hmm. The Way I Loved You, Parallel from a Dead Ball Dance. I don't really care about that one, but I saw that online and I thought that would probably wrap it up.
That one is my favorite.
This Love.
Yeah.
That would be full circle too. Yeah. I would really enjoy that more than the other one.
That's my song.
Begin Again. I could see them
for sure
rekindling in a little cafe.
Yeah.
Watch it begin again in a cafe. Ew. What? I heard that.
Ew. I'm going to come up with some of my predictions and I'm going to have them. I'm either going to post them on our Instagram or I'm going to put them on Patreon or members or something. But
solo vid.
No, I'm not like with you.
Well, we'll come up with more predictions. I'm coming up with
actual predictions. Like I'm going to like look through and like look at other ones, not only Taylor Swift too.
Yeah, raise your hand.
I'm committed to this.
Raise your hand if you're going to call off of work on Wednesday to watch.
Oh my God, are you?
Should I?
Should she chat?
Hey guys, can you comment if I should?
Yeah.
Maybe a little half day.
Let us know. Anyway, that's all we have for episode 10, you guys. Let us know what you think down below, though. We would love to know.
What are your predictions? And catch us on Patreon and subscribe below because we love you so much.
Yes, exactly.
That was good.
We are not ending at the Summer I Turned Pretty, by mind you. Also, we have so many more Summer I Turned Pretty ideas. Like, even after this,
and
we're not going to be only a Summer I Turned Pretty channel forever, but
like, it's a big part of us. And like, I know people are saying they're going to miss us after this.
We'll be here, babe.
This is all over. But like, no, we will be here. We'll still be talking
here.
about the same realm, even new shows,
I know.
new things.
We were thinking about it and we were like, what if we did something along, okay, we love the book and show normal people. It's like obviously like to me on the same level of like heartache as this to me in different ways.
Yeah, in a different way.
Yeah.
Even more so.
Right. And so like there are things like that I think what if we like reread it with you guys, or you watched it, talked about it, debunked or like
book
debriefed it, something, or we'll do it on Patreon, whatever. But we have a lot of other ideas of things that we could do. Also, there are so many other movies
there's so many rom-coms and stuff and like book
adaptations.
Yeah, exactly.
That we
are
can talk
coming
about
out
too. So, which we love. So make sure you stick around, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Love you.
Bye.
The annoying bitches at school.